have we kind of gone backwards in terms of what Ander Herrera had to what Fred and McTominay actually had in that midfield? Man United versus Everton, 12:30 on Saturday, Salim. So what are your first thoughts of Everton this season under Rafa Benitez and the likes of Townsend, Gray, Salomon Rondon being their new look attack, seeing as Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin have been out of the team? How do you kind of see Everton going up against Man United on Saturday?
To be honest, I felt quite bad for him when the Ancelotti project sort of ended. But to be honest, they've looked quite good. Like Demarai Gray, for example, a player that's not really, he didn't really get a proper chance at Leicester, and he's turned up and he's done quite well. And Andros Townsend, another like sort of experienced Premier League player, they both really kicked on. So I think Everton are looking quite good. But for me, I think you guys should win that game. I think with United, the problem is, I was saying it, that it just looks like individuals there. Like you've got individual brilliance, but it's whether Ole can get them to play like as a team. I think that's the main sort of thing. Because at the moment, like even watching that game, we were quite far the better team, but I just didn't see any sort of real patterns of play. Sort of there was that switch that used to happen to Shaw quite a bit in the first half, but then even we sort of like put a block in to stop that. So I just can't see what United it's like sort of style of plays. But I think if you can get some sort of rhythm going, and if you could play as a team, you could definitely sort of be in that title race, I think.
Yeah, because everyone's been saying that we're lacking that world-class centre midfielder, like holding the midfield a bit. But even when you're looking at previous teams that Man United have had and they've won titles and trophies as well, the midfield hasn't always been the best. But it's got me thinking, Ander Herrera has been playing pretty decent this season for PSG. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer couldn't convince him to stay because of the contract issues when he left. And in that midfield, he had Fred and McTominay replacing Herrera and Matic as like the first choice midfielder in that season. So you're kind of thinking, have we kind of gone backwards in terms of what Ander Herrera had to what Fred and McTominay actually had in that midfield? I know Herrera's not the best of midfielders, but it kind of just shows that when you've got someone who can do both what Fred and McTominay can do, score goals, pass the ball around, tackle, intercept, and man mark, which is what these two players do, what one player can actually do. It kind of looks like we've just gone downhill and gone backwards in that midfield department, because Matic is someone who I wish was in his prime, but is not. We can't turn back time on Nemanja Matic. And with Donny van der Beek, I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is quite confident having him as a second defensive midfielder. So it looks like it's going to be another year of Fred and McTominay in that midfield. And I think it's something that we can improve on, definitely, but I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to do it, because he seems to have his trusted players, and it gets a bit annoying, don't you think, Salim, when you have a manager who has his favourites in a team?
Yeah, like for me, Van der Beek could be the answer. Like he's that kind of guy that plays that sort of one-touch football. He's quite a clever footballer, and he could break the lines. But if he doesn't trust him, he doesn't trust him. But I wouldn't even mind going in for somebody like him. Be a perfect addition to our midfield. I think a lot of teams could do with a player like him, and he's just sort of underused and underrated. And I don't know, they need to sort something out, because something's definitely not right there.
Something's definitely not right with Van der Beek, and it's quite upsetting to see how someone of such talent left Ajax, and Ajax are thriving now in the Champions League. They're beating Besiktas 2-0 as we speak, and
I think he was captain as well at Ajax, right?
Yeah, it was De Ligt captain, then it was Van der Beek, and then Van der Beek left as well. So
still a big character, a big personality. If he was going to take that armband, and he was probably playing every single game to now. You could probably, I don't even know how many games he even starts now or anything like that.
He just doesn't. He just comes on for like the last 10 minutes of every other game, which is awful. Like, it just ruins his confidence, really. Especially because we're at the League Cup as well. He was our best player on the pitch for quite a few people. I don't think he did that well, to be fair, but a couple of people saying he did really well. But it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. The only person that's going to come into the team and change is Marcus Rashford when he comes back from injury. But we're going to see how that goes. And I'm going to predict a 2-1 win for Man United. I think we're going to concede, but I think we're going to win and scrape it. And I think it'll be a decent 2-1 win for Man United.
Yeah, same for me, 2-1 United, I think.
2-1.